Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Talking with Debbie and Friends, the companion podcast to our weekly cooking show, Cooking with Debbie and Friends. My name is Travis, and my lovely co-host is my wife, Debi Gutierrez.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Well, we're on a little late because we were fighting about the size of a spider that was trying to kill me. The spider was trying to kill me. It was as big as my hand. It was the biggest spider I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I wondered if she was going to bring that up. And that's why I looked at her at first, because we were just in a mad dash to get started. She was screaming. I heard fire.
Not spider?
I didn't hear spider. I heard fire. That's why listen, I'm a big guy. I shouldn't be running upstairs like that. And when I did, I heard some stuff. And when I got up there and it wasn't fire, can you imagine? And there was no spider, by the way. I took the mirror off the wall and everything. It was a mess.
No, but then it came back.
I did see the spider, and if I can be honest, it was a goddamn big spider. That was a big fucking spider.
One time when Pilar was little, she was screaming, "There's a spider in my room, there's a spider." And Travis goes, "Oh, I'll take care of it. It's not a big spider." And then he comes back to bed and he goes, "A spider almost ate my baby."
That was a big ass spider. This was on par with that spider.
And when I posted something on Facebook, like, "Hang on, we'll be there. We're fighting this spider." One of our listeners, Richard, wrote that a bird flew in their house today.
Oh my God.
And they had to get it out, which is crazy. How did you get it out? With a broom? Or, oh my gosh.
No, I think you just open the window and hope it goes, but it's cold back there in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So we hope that you guys got it out okay.
So last Tuesday on Table Talk.
Yeah, let's move this just a little bit here because we love to hear your beautiful, sexy voice.
Last Tuesday on Table Talk, we had why am I drawing a blank?
Kristen Key.
Kristen Key.
Our favorite musical comedian.
I'm sorry. It's all, when you're prepping for a show or prepping for the month, and sometimes they just all start to melt together.
Yeah.
I've always been the talent that you have to tell me 2 minutes before it happens what's happening.
Yeah, you slide her a big outline with big bullet points. Here's what you're going to talk about.
And I'm good. And I'll read anything off a teleprompter. And one time I was on a show. I had my own little talk show on PBS. And I was thanking guests that weren't even there. They just put in fake names to see if I would do it. And I did it.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm Ron Burgundy.
They even wrote that. I'm Ron Burgundy with a question mark. And then she would put smiley faces and make them go up and down laughing. Ha, ha, ha.
Nice.
She was Oprah Winfrey's teleprompter lady for years. Sorry, yeah. I keep looking at you.
Yeah, she likes to look at me during the show, but I'm like, the mic is in front of you.
So Kristen Key was on, and she was darling. And by the way, two past guests, Kristen Key and Alonzo Bowden, are both doing cameos for Valentine's Day. And I told Travis, I don't know if I'll get you a card this year, because you don't want to go touch cards everybody else is touching, right? So a cameo might be the way to go. So the Alonzo Bowden, who we had quite a while ago, and then Kristen Key, who does musical cameos, can be found there on your Cameo app, and I believe they're all on sale for Valentine's Week.
She'll do a custom song just for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. And speaking of songs, I massacred I'm Yours and a Mad Lib last week. So if you didn't see that episode, check that out and let me know what you think.
And last Sunday on Cooking with Debbie and Friends, we had so much fun. Oh, we made something so simple. We made homemade albondiga soup from scratch. And we were shocked at how many people had various ways to make their albondigas or to add to it. Customize it. I didn't realize it was such a customizable dish. And we just had so much fun. And because we had to do the switch out where we do the magic of TV, which means that I got up early and I made another whole pot of it. Tons of soup. So then we spent the rest of the day delivering it, which was fun. Yeah. So that was on last Sunday. And this upcoming Sunday, we are not football fans. We won't even pretend. We don't even know who's playing. We know a lot of you are Super Bowl, you're going to watch the Super Bowl. You're Super Bowl fans. So what I thought we would do is we would just make something really good, like a party favorite, like a burger. We've never done a burger
Yeah,
yet.
we haven't done burgers.
Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe a blue cheese burger,
Oh, sounds good.
right?
Yeah.
And then we'll play games with you. Since we're going
Yeah.
to be in a game mode, we'll bring a game to the table and we will pick a game, maybe Family Feud, or we have a ton of
we have
games.
some good games.
Yeah, so we're going to play games with you and make a burger on Sunday.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, before we bring on our guests, let's say hi to a few people. Hi, my dad, you're there, and my baby girl, Pilar, is there. Richard and Debbie is saying, damn it, Tony, Debbie Grow. Because they're always in a feud for who gets to say hi first. So
and Debbie Wheatley, I know, Debbie Wheatley Ferguson, who sent us beautiful dish towels, and she says, use them.
Yeah, we'll use them now that we have extras, but before it was like the bathroom towels. Don't touch those. That's for the guests to see.
And Diana Eagleson and Eva. Hi, Eva.
You guys.
Audrey.
And Patrick.
Audrey and Patrick. And let's see.
My dad says you're late. Yeah, we were late because of the spider.
You know what? That reminds me. We have a viewer, a pretty loyal viewer. Maybe she'll pop on tonight. Kristen Marone. I think her last name is pronounced like that. And she's an avid collector of spiders and snakes and things, reptiles. And so she posts them on Facebook. And at first it was hard for me to look at, but now there's a beauty to them, to see them molting, shedding their skin, going through the different seasons, and she names them. So
I'll stick to my soft dog. Yeah, no, thank you.
Loretta Rohr is here. Loretta Rohr Bowen and Rhea.
I passed a couple. So yeah, put Diana Eagleson, Debbie Grow, Suzanne Denlinger. Oh my God, spider! Yikes!
Yikes! Yes. Yeah. Patricia Rose. Good, you made it, Patricia. She sometimes comes on. She goes, "I missed it." She's like the last comment. I missed it. Rhea, Peggy Castaneda. Don't forget, Peggy is our Avon representative. And we support small businesses, especially female-owned small businesses. So if you need Avon, Peggy's your lady. And a special shout out to Fadi's Florist for the flowers. Yeah. Did the spider see his shadow?
6 weeks of spraying. That's a big spider. Yeah. So today's Groundhog Day. If you haven't, if you didn't know that, I didn't know what if the groundhog saw its shadow or not, but we'll have to check that after.
Oh my God, did you see what Sandra wrote?
One night, dozens of tiny baby spiders hatched from my ceiling fan. That sounds like a nightmare.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no,
oh my God, Sandra. But in Texas, you kind of have to get ready for that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Do.
In Texas, you'll have a bug, you try to step on it, it will take your shoe and slap you in the damn face.
Pilar says, time to throw the whole house away.
Sandra, it's time to throw the whole house away. Hi, my sister's here. Hey, Monica.
Tina Augusta Ruiz.
Oh, hi, Tina.
Very good to see you. She's a big fan of Kristen Key. And so
we're
glad that you
hey, welcome back. Yeah. So over my bed. Oh, my God, Sandra, I can't even. So shall we bring on our lovely guest?
Hell yeah, we should. She's adorable.
She is. You say that about her every single time. Or we'll go and we'll work together and you're like, she is
just so
adorable.
Adorable, but she's hilarious and she's amazingly smart, which is why I like her comedy.
So witty.
But she's adorable. I love her.
She is adorable. And I didn't realize she had a temper until yesterday. And went, what? Her temper showed up. I'm like, what? We were just talking about the people, like Suzanne calls them, the mask holes, that don't wear the masks.
Okay, let's not get political. Come on.
A mask isn't political. A mask is a mask.
I know.
All right. We are so happy to have Dana Eagle with us. Dana has been seen on NBC's Last Comic Standing, The Late, Late, Late Show, Comedy Central, and Comics Unleashed. She has taken several trips overseas to perform for the troops in Iraq. Let's have some applause for that, huh? In 2017, Dana's book, How to Be Depressed, a Guide, hit the shelves. And in 2018, it was released in 4 languages.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it is. And we bought it. We bought several copies. I just happened to give them away because I couldn't find one tonight. I'm like, oh my gosh, every time I get one, I give
She gives it away. Yeah.
Oh, Sandra Vall said, I love Dana Eagle.
Yeah.
Eagle's one-woman show was featured at the HBO US Comedy Arts Festival, and its sequel premiered at the Los Angeles Theater Festival. She appeared in an ABC pilot with Jason Alexander and was the host of Comcast Unconventional, Showtime Next, and Entertainment Network's Life's Lessons. Look out for Wanda Sykes' 2019 Netflix special, where Dana served as creative consultant. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Eagle began her career in musical theater, but was asked to leave.
Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the very funny, adorable Dana Eagle.
Yay, Dana Eagle!
Thank you.
There you are.
Thank you. You guys left out. You guys only covered the spider. You didn't cover your second heart attack that you almost had when my camera wasn't working.
Oh yeah. And she was upside down. She's like, what?
Upside down. And then I threw it on my computer instead of using the iPad that I regularly use. And I have, like, if you hear a big crash during this, it's because I moved everything around. Everything is on stands. It's kind of like Jenga over here. I'll take a picture and send it to you. I have no idea how long it's going to last. Like, if I make one, and one of the wires is attached to me, if I make one wrong move, everything is just going to crash.
Oh my gosh. I had to do that. Cooking with Debbie got a little bit of publicity in Vegas, and the Vegas Fox 5 News wanted to cover me. And so Travis came home during his lunch to help me get on. And so he's literally like pinning things to me and holding me, and I'm trying to cook at the same time. Yeah. And it was crazy.
We've played that Jenga before.
Yeah. So we know.
This is the best. This is the best cooking show I've ever been on because I don't have to cook.
No.
The only one I'm qualified to be on.
You know what? We invite people to get their favorite beverage and watch us cook. They can order in. It doesn't matter. There you go. What are you drinking? Fireball?
I don't know. They were like left over from Angel Gaines and I were doing the show Crafts and Laughs, and I made a parent pandemic survival kit, and this was glued to like one of the things.
That's Fireball
it was
whiskey.
A passive aggressive parent gift basket, and it had stuff like instruments for kids. I don't remember which gift basket this was. I kind of drank all throughout Crafts and Laughs, but I just found this when my stuff didn't set up. I was like,
I think I have one of those.
Yeah.
What is this? Is it alcohol?
That's whiskey.
That's whiskey. It's Fireball, so it has like a cinnamon to it.
Lovely.
Taste
Can I cook with this?
Yeah.
I don't know if I would.
I would do a dessert with it.
Okay.
I would do dessert or like a hot chocolate with it. In fact, Pilar did that on Pilar Pours It. She did a hot chocolate with, sorry, I keep looking at you, with Fireball whiskey. Yeah, bottoms up, girl.
I could just pour it into the ice cream, except I finished it.
Yeah, pour it into your mouth.
We were talking to her yesterday. She had ice cream for dinner.
I had ice cream for dinner, and then I said I was going to have it for breakfast. It didn't make it to breakfast.
Oh.
What kind of ice cream was it?
It was like a Trader Joe's caramel something. It wasn't. It was fine. It did the job. It's crazy because I always say that I eat healthy, and then when I really think back, because I don't keep unhealthy things in the house. Like if they're not done by nighttime, I have to throw them out. So sometimes I forget about them. Like the other day I went out and there was like evidence of Oreo cookies in my bag that I had forgotten about. But if you would have asked me, I would have been like, oh, I'm eating healthy the whole week. I just have no memory at all.
I've never forgotten a cookie.
Oh, really? That was a first for me, definitely. That was definitely COVID-related forgetfulness, because usually when there's sugar, that's the first thing I think about in the morning. Can you hear me okay, by the way? I know we're having some mic issues with my Jenga setup.
Yeah, no, it's me because I tend to talk to people, like get really in there, and then Trav's like, you're breathing into the microphone.
And then you hear this.
I would like you two to do a podcast of just the two of you working it out of what it's like to be in a house. The idea that you guys would even get on camera together after being like locked in a house. It's your own sort of reality show where somebody's like trying to get the worst of you.
You know what? I was, it's a long day without him here, you know? And so I was sobbing. I'm like, it's just such a long day, and I'm by myself, and I don't hear anybody else's voice. And then he said, come see me at work. And I said, I need to see other people. I don't need to drive to a different location. Yeah. That's not the problem.
I was inviting her to a picnic lunch, just to be clear. And because, look, you're right. It is unusual to have people that live this close together. We don't have anyone else in the house, so it's not like there's.
Don't forget about your spider, your pet spider.
Spiders, there are those. But we like each other. And so, mostly, but there are times right before we go on, especially the cooking show, because there's a lot more to do. We're like, at it. We're on. Hi, everyone.
Hey,
Good to see you.
We have so many comments about the whiskey, about the Fireball. Somebody made, Debbie said, I made a pumpkin pie this weekend with Fireball. Patricia said, keep your Fireball in the freezer because it's an alcohol. It won't freeze.
Oh, I have a second one.
And then she's got a second one. And then Sandra Valls, the comedian Sandra Valls. Sandra, she has the best show on Saturday. She does the karaoke. We get in there and we do karaoke with Sandra. It's so much fun.
But is anybody allowed to sing?
Yeah. She does. You know what? We'll have her post some of her information. Sandra, if you could post your info. I don't know if you're back in Texas doing it. I know that we went to a karaoke party just 2 weeks ago, Saturday. And Sandra wrote, damn, now I want cookies, ice cream, and whiskey.
Wait, so for the karaoke party, it's a Zoom kind of karaoke. It's a video kind of.
It's a Facebook Live party.
Her and her sister, and they are like totally in sync, which is what I love most. So when a song starts and they both start dancing, and they're totally in sync, and they start dancing, they're amazing. They're great singers.
They wear horns on their heads. They're so doggone cute. Here we go. Playroom karaoke with Sandra and Connie, February 13th, 7 p.m.
Birthday.
Central. That's your birthday?
That's my birthday. Yep.
Now you know.
I'm going to have a starring role on that.
Meet us in the playroom with Sandra. What's so cute, too, is my sister said the other day, and she goes, oh, I was so busy. I missed Sandra's show. And I go, which Sandra? And she goes, Sandra Valls. And I forget that we're sharing audiences here. And so it's so much fun to just throw them to Sandra's party, and then Sandra will throw them to our cooking show. And it's so symbiotic.
I'll get a show, and then you could throw them to my show.
Yeah.
A Fireball show.
Yeah, and then we have somebody here who joined us who was part of Christian Key's show, that was an audience member there. So we got to do what we have to do for comedians to just keep getting through. Oh, Sandra said she'll sing a song for you for her birthday.
So wait, Dana, if you were going to do a singing show with Sandra, what song would you sing? Because you're talking about, I would sing karaoke. What's your go-to karaoke song?
What song can't I sing? I don't know. Am I allowed to pick a Broadway tune? Am I allowed
Absolutely.
And it's going to probably be something like Sondheim. Now I'm living up to my nerd thingy. Oh, you know what? Oh, no, that's my dancing song, The Hustle. I like The Hustle. I like that one.
It doesn't have words.
Yeah, so I can't sing to that.
Oh, yeah,
it
does. Do the hustle. No, you go, do the hustle.
Do the hustle. Yeah, and I'm right on key when I do that.
Yeah.
So I could do that one. No, this was one of those where I just blurted it out of like, I'm going to star in the karaoke show with there was no forethought. There was no plan. It was just, that's what I'm going to do. This is how I got into comedy. This is how I get into everything. It's
how did you get into comedy?
I blurt something out, and then I'm like, oh shit, now I have to do it.
No, I'm stuck.
I don't want to do it.
I've known you for so long that I don't even know your origin story. How did you get into comedy?
More importantly, how did I stay in comedy? Like, why didn't anyone show me the door and be like, I don't think you're like, I'm an introvert, right? Like this personality for like maybe 5 more minutes. And then I'm just like shut down. I don't do well with others. I'm not like a go-getter. So more importantly, how did I not get shown the door for comedy? But I got into comedy because of I was in musical theater and I was asked to leave.
Were you really?
Yeah, I was on.
It was just something funny on your bio.
No, that was what I wanted to do. I wanted to be in musical theater, and then I was in a tour of a musical. I had the only non-singing role. And then for 4 months, I tried to show the cast. Like every time I was just like, no. I mean, I have a non-singing role, but I could sing. Like I was like, I could sing. And like every chance I got, I would like belt out. And then finally they were like, you know what? You can't sing and you're annoying to be on a bus with. Because anyone who's known me for any length of time knows that like when they first met me, I don't talk and I'm not friendly. And then all of a sudden I open up and they're like, oh, I like that not talking girl better. But so anyway, so that was, and then so they had told, they were pretty direct about that because you don't hide things when you're on tour for 4 months. And then what happened was somebody pulled me aside and seriously said to me, they're like, I really think you should try it. I took a Judy Carter workshop. Do you know who she is?
Yeah.
Yeah. I took in one weekend. I don't know if I was good or not. I was just like, I'm doing this. This is what I want to do. And that was it. And now
I did the same thing, not Judy's, but a different class. I took a class and it was like a duck to water.
Judy Carter comedy class.
Judy Carter
She
comedy
took Judy's.
class?
Yeah, I did one at the Ice House.
Oh, you did? You did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You learned a lot of good lessons.
I mean, it's kind of, I think it's nicer to take a class first because it's bad enough your friends are going to have to come see you in that first year and pay for drinks to see the, you know, and be like, you were great when like you're really still figuring it out. Like at least get those first few weeks done in a class.
Yeah.
Save everyone.
I still use some of my notes from my very first class 25 years ago, 26 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah. My teacher covered things that you're supposed to do in a club too. You know, just like arrive early, don't drink, all the do's and don'ts.
All the things I'm doing now. I like arrived 4 minutes before my camera didn't work and I'm drinking a Fireball. He took very different classes. Different classes.
Different set of rules.
How long have you been doing comedy?
I haven't been counting, but it's definitely been, I don't think I'm that far behind you. It's got to be like 15, 20 years. Wow. I don't really, I just always do I'm here now. I always feel like if I count, then I'm like, I'm going to have to feel like I have to show something for it. I don't want to have to show something for it. I'm here now.
To show for.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been long enough that, you know, when I see the new kids doing it, I'm like, did they not know they needed a punchline? Like I still have like that kind of smoking a cigarette, and I'm like, that was just the setup.
Have you ever gotten to the part where you're just giving bad advice just to be mean? I think you should open with the new stuff. Open with the new stuff.
That's a great bit. You should totally do that.
And
if you get the light, don't worry about it. They love it when you run the light. Just keep going.
I remember
they're not laughing, they're listening intently.
Who's Puppet Man? I always forget his name.
Jeff Dunham?
Jeff Dunham.
Why do you call him Puppet Man?
Because. And so, you know who he is?
Some history there.
So Jeff Dunham was, we told him, it's a great joke. It's a great joke. And it was horrible. Do you remember that?
I was there, yeah.
And so he did the joke and it just laid there and you heard nothing except all the comedians in the back. And then he goes, thanks a lot, Debbie.
Yeah, he blamed her.
Why call me out?
Well, you just kind of said it, that it was a terrible joke. But in all fairness, it's not like he's the one telling the joke. He could blame the puppet. He has a puppet
That's
to
true.
blame. We don't have a puppet to blame.
That's true.
Now I might get one.
So let's back up a little bit here with just the pandemic. Where were you when you found out this pandemic was a real thing? How long did you think it was going to last?
And more importantly, how many bottles of those Fireballs did you have?
Sandra wrote, don't drink. She didn't get the memo.
Oh my God. Well, I did, who is it? Oh shoot, I'm forgetting her name. Laura Hayden. She has a whiskey podcast where she's sponsored by whiskey companies. And if I knew more, I would promote them. They just dropped it off right at my door. And I just finished that stash this week. This is the end of the alcohol. Where was I? I was here in LA, and actually it was the halfway through March, right? And I actually had too much work for March. I was like, oh, I took too many jobs. I wonder if I could get out of one. Yeah, that worked out great.
Yeah.
And here's the interesting thing was it was like right in the first week of March. I had like that sprinkle of cancer. I'm fine. I had it like 5 years ago. And so I went for my last test a year ago in February, and then they called, and like when they call and the doctor gets on the phone, and this was like the
Yes.
first week of March. He's like, I'm here with my assistant Kim, and I was like, oh no, uh-oh. And the whoever it was, the guy in the lab jacket, he didn't feel like there was something there, but he didn't feel like he could make a call, and they needed it to go to a lymphoma specialist. We had to get it sent to a different lab. That was like maybe March 4th. And then I can't really tell you what happened. Everything's kind of fuzzy now. Then COVID came, and then everything just got stuck. I mean, maybe COVID. So, like, for the whole first month that everybody's going through the pandemic, I'm waiting to find out if I have cancer or something again. And it got stuck because it had to go from Cedars to UCLA, which is like a whole, 2 miles. So I didn't get the results till like March 27th. So for the whole first month of the pandemic, I was just like, well, something's going to kill me. It's like, I'm like going, yeah, I was going to get my oil changed in my car, but I don't think that's going to really be necessary at this point. I'm like, let's just see how it goes.
Well, what were the results when you got them?
Fine. It's not that. It's something else that I'm supposed to go get checked out. It's not cancer. They were just like, it's not cancer. And I was like, oh, okay. And I didn't really. Oh, I did find out a little bit more. It's like a place. It was located in a place where people get lymphoma, but not the kind that I had, and I think that was the confusion. So, yeah.
Tell us about your journey with cancer.
It was fun. Da, da,
Yeah.
da, da, da. I
Hold
have
my
to
hand,
say,
cancer. We're gonna
right
skip
at the
through this
beginning,
shit.
I lucked out. I will say this, because you guys know I always did jokes about the bipolar disorder. If you're bipolar and clap your hands. So I will say that cancer, physical illness was easier than a mental illness in many ways, because I didn't have to feel like it was my fault, which, by the way, it was in my stomach. It probably was my fault. Because if anyone's ever seen what I eat, they'd be like, well, like a month after I was diagnosed with cancer, I was eating a ham and egg burrito from a machine at a gas station. And I remember just thinking, like, you know, sometimes cancer's right. Sometimes cancer's like, yeah, we found a good home. This one's gonna take care of us. So I'm jumping ahead. I had a stomach ache for a long time, like 8 or 9 years, but I'm Jewish, I'm a performer, slightly high strung. And so everyone's like, well, it's IBS. And then I went to go get some medicine that I knew this doctor had samples of, and it was like name brand. And she was like, no, I don't think this is IBS. And she's like, has nobody tested you? And I was like, no, they just keep. She's like, well, let's get you tested, and she was right. And it was non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and I got, like, the kind you want to get. So that's where, like, I was really just lucky. And it was like 3 days after I got a book contract too that I found out, and I was like, oh no. So it was kind of like I didn't really say anything for a while. I don't know. It's what's weird is I always thought like I was private and quiet and controlling of things because I had a mental health issue, and I wanted people to know that they could rely on me for employment and stuff. So I always felt like that pressure to not discuss what my issues were. Like, you do the show. But then with this, I found out, like, no, it had really nothing to do with the mental health thing. Like, that was just me. Like, I just didn't say anything, like, for a little. Like, I came home and I just sat for like 7 hours and did nothing. Like, I was just like,
Wow.
oh, I wonder what I'm supposed to do now. And it's a ride, but it's definitely one of those where it's like it's hard, because I got, like, I mean, not hard, there's the parts of it that are hard, but I definitely got, like, the easy part of it, like
Mhm.
I don't know. I've read a lot of articles about like people who are survivors, and it's just this thing where it's like we get so much credit of like, you're a survivor, you battled cancer, and I'm
You
like,
did
yeah,
it.
but just because it was my own, like I didn't battle anyone
Mhm.
else's, you know. And we
Yeah.
get so much credit, but it's really, so much of it is just, it's just luck. Like I was not brave. I tried to quit treatment on like the first day. I was like, I can't do this, this isn't
I'm
gonna work.
sure your story is more common than you think it is.
Yeah,
I
I don't
do.
know.
I
it
do. Because it's a scary thing.
it was scary.
But
Yeah.
also,
Yeah.
if anyone knows you, they know that you're a very, very positive, upbeat person. So that probably helped, right?
I have to say, being able to make jokes about things, was he being sarcastic? Was he being,
No,
oh, okay.
no. Listen, I kind of was, because you do talk about not really being very positive in that, but you have made jokes about it. I've heard you talk about it in a sort of playful way. So that
Right.
has to help a lot, really, like
You
internally.
have to get through it first, though,
Ev-
before you can make a joke.
Everything. Oh no, no,
No?
no, not the way I was raised. We just go for it. My mom came out. My mom. I lived with my mom in my one-bedroom apartment, and so we were roomies for treatment. And like first day, she was like, "Oh, let's take a, like right by Cedar." She's like, "Let's take a picture," like it was my first day of kindergarten or something.
Oh, God.
Oh, Dana.
And I wasn't allowed to eat till like after treatment every day. And then like sometimes she would forget, like we'd go for a walk so that I wouldn't like get sick like right after. And so we'd go, and then uh she would be, I think she's like on here listening. She would be like in the kitchen and she'd be doing, and I'd be like, I think I need to eat. It's been a lot. She'd be like, oh my God, I forgot to feed you. So I think that's kind of like where comedy, because like last night I was, when you and I were talking, I was raging on the phone. I was very angry. And anger, I have to say, is like the most futile emotion, and I wish somebody would have instructed me on that when I was very young.
Yeah.
um but it's fun if, like, when you suddenly go, okay, I want to get something from this, with us as a joke. I want to get a joke, I want to get a bit. It completely changes the design of this. It's
Mm.
like,
You reframe it.
yeah, like I'll never change them at CBS because they just don't care. They've made that very clear to me. They just don't. The only place where you show up, they said your medicine's ready, it's not ready. And then not only do they not apologize, they act like it was your fault. Like, how dare you show up and try and get the medicine we said
Right.
was ready?
See,
Like,
I
it's
was
like,
always lucky to drag a kid around with me because I'm like, go touch everything. Oh, we got all
oh,
day. Go grab that stapler.
Yeah,
They're
she
not.
did it. She did that.
oh, that's really good.
Yeah, I've changed a diaper on somebody's desk at an insurance company. Where
Isn't
can
it?
I throw this? Right here? Okay. They took me next.
I mean, look, comedy is fun because we lift people's spirits, but it's also good because we could get some really big revenge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yep. Because there's always that
Absolutely.
balance between, you know, like honoring uh your feel, like just trying to be like positive about things, and then just going like, well, you know what, this is just how it is, and it's like I could sprinkle all the positivity in the world on this, but I'm still feeling crappy.
Mm.
Right, right. No,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. And I think, like I said, when you're a comic, you say things that everybody's thinking, but they wouldn't say it out loud, about your
Right.
kids or about your spouse or about,
Right.
CVS.
Mm-hmm.
So, can I back up for a second? You
Yeah.
mentioned bipolar. Are you bipolar, Dana?
I think I am, but
Have you been diagnosed?
yeah, I was. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I was. And I have the family members ahead of me, the generations ahead of me have been. Yeah, it runs in the
Is it
family.
hereditary?
Yeah, it is. It's hereditary. But there's different kinds. There's bipolar 1 disorder and bipolar 2, which is like the sequel, never as good as the original. And bipolar 2 is more of the like depression. Like if baseline is here, people with bipolar 1, they get like these huge highs and then get like lows. People with bipolar 2, they get like their highs here, like I'll sound like a little buzzed, and then the lows are like all the way down there. So there's not as much stuff. Like I know someone with bipolar 1 who like just went out and bought a boat, like on a whim. Like I haven't bought any. It sounds more fun. I'm sure it's not, but it sounds more fun. So that's why people don't really notice it, I guess. I don't. Maybe they do.
So you were diagnosed with bipolar.
Mhm.
What is it called? Is it called bipolar condition, disorder?
I just know it as bipolar 2. That's what
Okay.
I know it as.
And then you were diagnosed with the cancer. And then you wrote the book?
Yeah, and let's not forget about the being gay. Let's not forget about it's not been an easy road being Dana Eagle. This thing didn't just show up like this. Like, I have reasons to have some hostility. I'm like, looking at people wondering, like, when I'm going to like boys, thinking I'm a late bloomer. I was that too. So then I was gay, then the bipolar. Then, we got gay hate mail from the family.
Oh, no.
Do you remember that? I think we had discussed that. I think you were very sweet about it. I think I was scared at that time to tell you, because at that time, remember, I had that whole misconception about you guys.
Yeah, because you did. Because we went to church for a long time, but they asked us to leave. And they asked us to make a choice. They asked us to make a choice and to disconnect from the LGBTQ or to disconnect from them. And we said bye, and we took all our tithe checks with us.
They wanted us to sign what's called a morality clause, which forbade us from drinking in public or cussing or having relationships, friendships with LGBTQ community members. This whole slew of things, and we were just like, fuck that. We're out.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I think is what Jesus said.
I think so.
I may have paraphrased a little.
Like our kids say, Jesus said, I hate figs. I hate figs. I want to read you a comment from BG Casas. She says, we are our harshest critics. You should be very proud of yourself for fighting cancer. I applaud you, girl. You're friggin' awesome. Yes.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice.
Yeah.
Aw, that's neat. Yeah. Get to save these somewhere.
You know what? I'll screen cap it and text it to you after, so you can print it out.
Because you should be very proud of yourself, Dana, to get through everything that you've gotten through, and make it funny and establish a career. And I want to talk a little bit about the book, because like I said, I bought several copies and then I give them away. There it is.
Oh, by the way, yeah. Oh, look at that.
Here, watch. I'll do it again.
Fancy. Wow. There it is.
How to be depressed. Here, hold it up again, Dana, would you?
Yes.
Look at that. It's got cute illustrations in there.
It does.
How to be depressed.
I didn't make the illustrations, but they are absolutely beautiful. And you could learn how to be depressed like in any city or country. So like the perks of being depressed in France. Tell people you're not depressed. You are les miserables.
Oh, I like that.
How many languages has this book been published in?
It's in 4. It's in French.
Behind her?
Is it behind me?
Here, let's look at that.
Oh, there we go.
And you notice the robots up there? One of those robots is from you.
Yes. I entered a raffle just because you wanted those robots so bad. And I think I just emptied my purse and bought all the raffle tickets. And then I said, Dana, if I win, I'm totally giving it to you.
I did nothing for the cause. Do you know how many causes I've done nothing for? My friend worked over at the Oprah channel. What is it? Oxygen. And so she was a team leader for the AIDS walk or something. I showed up, had breakfast, got a t-shirt, got a hat. I didn't do a thing for them. And then this one, I did perform for this one. I did do that. I drove there. I performed. I don't know what else. I ate their snacks. And then I got the robots.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not that much of a giver.
Okay. I went something else and gave it to JP because he just got his own kitchen.
Yes, I remember that. I would think it was like a dish set or a mug set.
I win stuff.
Yeah.
So it's How to Be
Okay.
Depressed.
And so it's in German. Nothing. It's okay. That wasn't an electronic item. It was
Tina Augusta Mauricio, by the way, she's saying goodbye. So
she says, enjoy getting to know Dana, East Coast time zone woes. Good night. Tina, don't forget, you can always come back and watch this later.
What, Tina?
A new fan.
Augusta Mauricio.
Oh, February 12th, Tina. I'm doing a show at Flappers. February 12th, Tina.
Okay.
7. So you'll be able to stay for 45 minutes of it, I guess, because
we'll do that. So it's in German?
German, French, Turkish.
And English.
Turkish? How did you get it published in Turkish?
I don't know. It's out of my head. That's what happens when there's a publisher.
Depressed people in Turkish, huh? Not Spanish, huh?
They tried sending me stuff, the Turkish publisher, and saying, we don't want to use this because that's not in the Turkish culture. What if we use this? I'm like, use whatever you think is funny. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm never gonna know if they chose something funny or not.
I love the testimonial that Jimmy Brogan from The Tonight Show wrote about how he was happy, and then he read the book, How to Be Depressed, and it works because he's sad now.
Well, that's the thing. Everyone's like, I know how to be depressed. And I'm like, yeah, but you want to do it right. Like, you want to be able to bring other people down with you.
Is that what you're supposed to do, Dana?
Yeah, You want to make the most of it. You want to learn, you learn how to complain to others and then shut down the conversation when they want to start talking about themselves.
How do you do that? Can we try that?
We could try it. And then also, like, in
no, I want to learn.
California, everybody has what do they have? They have like daily affirmations.
Yes.
You know? And then here, to help you get into the right mindset, we have daily negations. You know.
What's a daily negation?
It's not bad lighting. That's what you look like.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty harsh, huh?
Yeah, that's harsh.
It's because that's what depression's about, is not just having the bad thoughts, but making sure you like just sit and bathe yourself in them.
You don't really do that, Dana, do you?
Here, look at this. This is what's terrible. How often hold on, I have to do opposite. There we go. How often I look like this one of these pictures. Even on days when I'm not depressed, I look like depressed fashions.
Are those pajama pants?
Yeah, it's the flannel pajama pants. It's the scrunchie. It's the what is the other one? I'm at this point now too where I've got to get the readers, whatever those glasses are. Oh, wearing your Morrissey shirt because 1991 reminds you you're 40. And then there's a quiz. So if you want, you could take the quiz to see if you have what it takes to be depressed, because it's not for everyone.
Right. Can I have a question?
Yeah. You go to bed early, not necessarily because you're tired, but because you don't want to be awake anymore.
Well, I think everyone during this pandemic can answer yes to that.
I know. I know. It's like I have company now.
How are you handling the pandemic? Oh, Sandra wrote, that's what I'm wearing.
No, to be fair, she wrote,
that's what I'm wearing. And then Pilar Townsend wrote, shoot, I look like that right now. Be right back. Got to change.
Oh, no, here's the thing is, like, I don't get upset about another key component of depression is the loneliness factor. So, like, when there's big things that everyone else is worried about, I don't really have to be worried about them because I'm like, those are real problems. I'm so busy with my imaginary problems. I don't have time for real problems.
So are you worried at all about COVID? That's a real problem.
Yes. COVID and spiders. It's a toss-up. But yeah, I'm worried, because I'm also considered compromised right now. But then it's like the hardest thing about COVID is just you don't know, but you don't know. Very similar to depression. It's like, I think I feel bad and this is chemical, but maybe I'm doing this to myself. Like, you feel crazy, kind of. Mm-hmm. If you hear something, it's my neighbor running his dishwasher. Anyway, I wasn't sure if that was coming through the microphone. Felt like I had to
Not at all.
explain it. Didn't want you
No.
guys to think I was falling in an earthquake. Um,
The epicenter is your kitchen.
yeah, I mean, I think that's the hardest thing is not knowing how worried you should be. Like I like those little charts with the colors on it that tell me exactly how worried I should be to leave the house, you know? So,
Like
I
the
don't
fire
know.
chart.
What?
Like the fire chart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the one at the airport.
Yeah, I need very, very specific directions because I have a lot of gaps. And they told me like, no, you need to shelter in place. But I think that that's just because they hadn't seen me cook. I think if they saw me cook, they would have been like, you should leave the house. It's worth the risk. So,
Wow. Like the theater,
yep,
go ahead and make your exit.
yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
All joking aside, this
Yeah.
book, How to Be Depressed, a guide, what would be the takeaway? If someone were to pick that up, what would be the one takeaway from that book that you would hope that they would take?
Just you don't have to do comedy professionally to have the tool of like finding the absurdity in things, even if it's your own feelings, even if it's the way that other people behave. And that was kind of how the book started, was just feeling so bad and then letting my feelings go and just sitting there and wondering, am I going to be able to stay in LA? And just, I remember they just went someplace ridiculous. And like, I kind of started laughing a little bit. And like, I didn't mean to be, I was depressed. And then you just sort of learn to do that, you know? Um, and then, yeah.
But the surprising thing for me is that you are a person that I'm always happy to see in the green room. You're a person that can always grab me by my feet and pull me back down and say it's not worth getting that upset about.
She seems so level-headed.
Yeah, you seem very level-headed and somebody who's great with advice. And I remember when my son came out as transgender, you could not be more loving and supportive. And so I never see this part of you that you're describing. To me, you always come across as somebody who has just a lot of confidence to share.
Like you have your shit together.
Yeah.
Is what you're exuding.
No, I don't think so. I think I like to think my friends are very comfortable talking to me because I've experienced a lot of those emotions. So there's always that thing between like, how do I push myself out of this? But yeah, you have to take a little bit of time in it. And yeah, I mean, I think like I've just been able to, I mean, we've all been there, like those times where it's like something seems so enormous, and then the next day you wake up and you're like, oh, wait, now is it okay? I mean, that's the hardest part about being alone is perspective, context.
Yes. Yeah.
So I feel like because of the, I hate to use the word because the challenges that I've had. Yeah, I've had, you have to find a place for things. Like with me, like I think one of the best things that helped me in terms of the depression was just being able to look back and go, okay, well, that it's never lasted infinitely. Like I've been through the issues and that it generally will go away as mysteriously as it came in. And so it's just a matter of like, hang on, make yourself comfortable. It's most like, I think almost everything comes down to knowing yourself because we have all these ideas of how we're supposed to do things, how we're supposed to handle things. And it's just like, this is what's going to help me right now. Like, I joke about getting angry at them at CVS, and I actually am very angry at them now because I switched CVSs and I'm still having problems. But it's just being able to go, well, when has this panned out for you in the past? Like this kind of anger and rage and yelling at them, like, you look like the idiot. And I just learned, like, there's not going to be any justice. Like you just got to move forward. Everything's just move forward. My mom goes with snap out of it. It's a little harsh, I wouldn't go with snap out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and Sandra is absolutely right. She says just because you have your shit together doesn't mean you're not depressed, and vice versa. I totally agree. And I didn't mean to imply that about you,
Oh, I didn't think you
Dana.
did.
Okay, no, but sometimes we do. Like for you, you definitely have perspective that a lot of people don't, especially those who might be a little bit more introspective and have thought things through and tried to work through issues. So we can give advice to those who if we see it, we might see it a little bit more clearly than they can.
Yes, and I was teaching a class during the pandemic, and one of the students in the class said something, but then he said very little, like he backed off and he didn't want to overshare. And I said, "Give me a call tomorrow," and um, I spoke to him, and I gave him, and not that it's the end all be all, but there are resources out there to help you. And oh shoot, now I'm not remembering. One of the best ones is I think it's called cbt.uk, and it has a bunch of exercises and worksheets on there, which is so helpful. I'll look it up and get it, but it's so helpful because I used to do a lot of self-help books. I read a lot of self-help books because I used to think I liked myself, but then I realized I was just using me to get to someone else. So I read a lot of self-help books. The problem with those is then they have great tools, but they end up making you feel like if you're not feeling well, then it's your fault.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas these are actual tools to go, how can I do? It's always like when your head gets all cluttery, it's always like, well, which piece of this matters? Which piece
Mm-hmm.
of this actually needs to be addressed, and which pieces just came along for the ride. And I feel like this tool that was put out by, I think it's the NHS in Britain, it's more helping you focus on those. Like if you're going through anger, if you're going through it's like the circling the drain. That's my favorite one. I call it brain candy, like when my brain just likes to chew on an issue.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really like that. And my book is definitely not helpful at all. No, it's helpful, but I would also recommend the website. So I'll make sure to send that to you. But yeah, having to know like where to start, and then also just trusting in your friends too, like trusting that like I know I could call you guys anytime and just be like, can we
Mm-hmm.
talk?
Mm-hmm.
And you'd be like, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Community has always been something that we talk a lot about on our show, the cooking show and this show. That is at the very top of our list of how we cope.
Mm-hmm.
And Debbie even said earlier today, she just reached out to a couple of neighbors just to chat because she's alone during the day. And
Yeah.
it's that sort of interaction, that community that's around you that does help you get through and calls you on your shit sometimes.
But it doesn't always have to be serious. Like the text I got today was about the perfect tuna salad, and it was so delightful. And then another neighbor chimed in with what she does with hers, and I chimed in. And then the original poster said, okay, got to go back to work. And that's all I needed. It was just to be able to connect. And it can be connecting about a tuna salad. It could be connecting with, oh my gosh, one of my good friends has COVID. Now what do I do? But it's so important right now. And I think people are finding each other during the pandemic. I think people are, seeking each other out. Like we were saying at the top of the show that, we have people that visit Playroom Karaoke. We have people that visit Christian Key. They come to our show. They're just connecting.
Yeah.
If I had known that Pilar was going to move out of there, I would have totally done my pandemic at your house.
We have another guest room.
Amazing. Amazing. I don't know if we'd still be friends at the end of it.
Maybe not.
I might not die of COVID. One of you might just kill me, but that would be, you'd be like, have you ever done a dish in your life? By the way, I'm eating off of paper plates. I'm so sick of dishes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sometimes we say screw the planet.
Sometimes.
Screw the planet.
I don't have kids. I've done my part.
I figure we're not driving.
Yeah, we're not driving. We're not driving. Yes, and then Don Friesen has the best joke about that. I was so mad. I was like trying to
tell it.
He goes, He goes, at this point, my car's getting 6 months to the gallon. Boom. Come on. How did I not come up with that?
Don't you love when you hear the perfect joke and you just see it floating like this, and then the laughter hits it like a balloon in the air with an arrow?
Yeah. And then but the worst is when it was like that one with Don. And by the way, I'm wielding my powder
Makeup
brush
brush?
as a weapon here. But Don is like, he's had 2 of those where it's like, why didn't I think of that? Because you were working on the same thing, and then you're just like, I'm not gonna get it any better than that. Like, I'm not gonna even come close. I'm gonna just put this away.
What is your perfect joke? I know the one I like, but which one what do you consider your perfect?
Own joke?
Yeah, we all have a joke we like.
What's your favorite joke?
I know mine.
I mean, I think like,
do you want me to tell you mine first?
Yeah. Tell me yours first.
So, when you have a joke and you throw it out there and then you go, damn it, they're not, here comes the punchline. They're already laughing. You're like, this is going to be great. So I say, I love boobs and I love a good motorboat.
My father is watching this.
And said, I love a good motorboat. I just love it. I love it. And then I tell my husband, now you do me. Now you do me.
See the shit I have to go through.
That's a great joke.
That's my marriage on stage right there.
That's fantastic.
But when you have a good joke, what's your? I know my favorite joke about that you have. I've got a couple.
I mean, the ones that have lasted through the whole career, where you're like, I'm embarrassed that I'm still telling this, but how can I drop it? And it's like in the book, 80% of the population suffers from depression. The other 20% of you cause it. That's. Like, well, what's your favorite of mine? This is such like a comedian thing to. What joke of mine do you
like? Your doctor asked you about birth control. What do you use for birth control?
Right. Yeah, I talk about. I never know how to reveal. I never know how when to reveal that I'm gay to people. Like, my gynecologist asked me. He said, "What are you using for birth control?" And I told him, "Girls." And then I go, "But during the pandemic, I stay on birth control just to remember what day of the week it is."
Oh, yeah, that works.
That's a good. Are you doing comedy?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot.
What?
I've been doing some corporates. I've been doing some writing, and then I've been like trying to do regular shows. It's funny, like it did hit like a bit of a slump, but I got to pull it together because I'm headlining February 12th at Flappers.
February 12th at Flappers in person?
No, just on the Zoom.
Okay.
On the Zoom. That's what I'm doing. So, yeah, I've been doing a lot of shows. The corporates are good because you kind of like write just for them, at least a little bit. And then I try and make the other stuff sound like it is. It is, I mean, How
do you like doing that kind of stuff on Zoom?
At first, I loved it because, no. Once I got through the awkwardness of it. Because like now I'm on my computer, but I would have my iPad right here, and I do mostly short jokes, and then I'd have my laptop right near the camera so I could work on a big chunk. You know how like when you're trying, oh no, you do it differently than me. You go more from the gut. But I'm scripted, so it's like it's very hard for me to like work out a long chunk because it's like it takes me several nights just to remember what it was that I was planning on. Like somewhere in the middle, I forget where I was planning on going. But like having the monitor right there was so fun.
Yeah, I see.
Sometimes right before she goes on, she'll go, "Oh my God, where's my set list? What should I do?" And she's like working out her set list.
I still make a set list.
A couple of minutes.
You know what I love about working with Dana? Every time I get off stage, Dana hands me a cocktail napkin. And there's punches. Every single time.
Because she's a writer.
Because she writes for Wanda and Wanda Sykes. Yeah. And you're a brilliant writer. And so I'll get off stage and I have a cocktail napkin with here's how to punch this, or here's a callback for that. Yeah, every single time.
The nicer thing is if you do it before, you're like, oh, I could have used these before. You know what?
No, you had to hear it.
But you are somebody where I should do it more before because you can grab it off. You're somebody who grabs and rides the emotion of things. Like Jen Kober and I, we were doing a show together and they told me it was for PTA group, and it wasn't for a PTA group smoke. They're doing PTA jokes. Wasn't working. And
Is this the plumbers convention?
I know. So it was for something else. So he's so angry. So out of anger, I wrote like 3 more or 4 more jokes, ripped them off, handed them to her. She was headlining, of course. And then she like nailed each of them. I think she did 3 out of the 4, put it in her own voice. It was natural. Like my first time doing a joke out there, I stumble. I can't find it. Like I don't know. I just bump all over it. Yeah. I don't know. I guess I feel like I wrote this. I know how it goes. And I'm like, no, I don't. I think the writing part and the performing part, they're 2 different. I don't know how this thing works. I don't know where the levers are.
I do a lot of mimicking. So I'll have the kids do it over and over for me, you know, rolling the eyes or doing the neck, or I'll ask Travis, how does a dude say it? What would a dude say? So, because I mimic a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. You put it in your body. That's what it is. You would be, that's what my shrinky dink, she always says, like, if I'm not feeling well, she'll say, like, where in your body does it hurt? Or where do you feel, like, even if I'm feeling mentally unwell, she'll be like, where in your body does it hurt? And I'm just like, I was always at a loss. And then I started to, like, think about it. It's like in my throat, my stomach. I guess maybe it helps you get out of your head or something. I don't know. I'll ask her and get back to you on it. I wasn't, like, it would kind of, she's been amazing in every other way, like life-changing amazing. But I remember she would keep saying that, and I'd be like, I don't know. But you know what? I started to get it when I started exercising. Then I got it, where it's like it's just this energy that kind of moves around to different places just to trick you. And you use all the energy because you use it in you're like all over the stage and stuff. You do a workout.
Yeah, I've worn my Fitbit on stage. It's always over 1,000 steps.
Oh my gosh.
In high heels. Yeah, Travis says I look like a boxer when I get off stage.
Yeah, she wraps a towel around her neck. She's sweating. She punches me in the face.
But the crazy thing is she does it in heels too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like for me, heels is a completely different activity.
Yeah,
like
no,
if I'm
you gotta...
wearing heels, I'm like, I can't tell you jokes and wear heels. Like I can't even... I won't even talk at a party if I'm wearing heels. And like, look, I did the job of wearing heels. I shouldn't have to do anything else.
I can't do it without it. Trav.
No.
I can't do it without it. Yeah, I've tried.
She doesn't feel comfortable in it.
Yeah. And sometimes you got to slam that heel down on a table to have them.
Yeah, you take over the room. You're like, I don't know what you thought you were doing. I'm doing a show. You don't wait. You're like, no. You're coming. This is where this room is going.
Yeah. I'll have a bride kicked out. I don't give a shit. She's going to have her day.
Is this Vegas? Does this happen in Vegas?
Oh, yeah, in Vegas all the time.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, the bridal parties, they want to put them up front for me. I'm like, no. You stick that bride in the back. They
think they're so interesting. And I'm just like, you guys are everywhere. Everyone.
You with your veil with the penises all over it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the bridesmaids are always pretty happy when you just slam that bride because they've had enough of her. We're done. Hey,
right.
We're going to have to wrap this up, but I wanted to know, because we do a lot of conversation starters. We play a game called Would You Rather, and we wanted to know if you would answer a couple just kind of rapid fire stuff.
Spiders.
Pardon?
Yes, the answer. I was wondering if you were going to ask me
Spiders.
COVID or spiders. I was going to go with spiders.
Are you ready?
Spiders.
And
is this a
I'll
Would You
let
Rather?
do your game. I'll shut up.
No, this is just a regular question.
Okay.
A quick question. Okay?
Okay.
Did you make any strange purchases during COVID?
Does the hotel fireball not count for anything?
You lifted those, Eagle.
No, I actually went to a liquor store to get these so that I could hot glue them. When have I ever even used a hot glue gun?
You crafted with them.
I crafted with them.
Fireball would be your weird COVID purchase?
Oh. Whole new Dana. Dresses. I didn't know about dresses till now. They're amazing. What? Dresses.
Like what I wear?
Bought a whole bunch of dresses because I was like, first of all, no shoes in my apartment anyway. But I never realized how amazing dresses are. Like, you don't have to match. It's just one thing. You don't have to match 2 things or 3 things. Or like, here I have the tank top and the sweater and the pants and then shoes. And like, dresses, it's just like you put on a dress and some boots. You're done.
Yeah.
That's it. But it's going to be a new Dana after COVID. It's going to be all dresses all the time, and that's it. So it's not a strange purchase, but it's strange for me. And also, when you're
and I have never worn pants on stage. Never.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, because you're very girly.
Yeah.
You're the girly that my mom thought she was raising.
Oh my God, dresses. That is hilarious.
Dresses. Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me? No pants, just a dress. You don't even need pants.
I have to admit that the pants for the women that work the road, they have the uniform and they just trade it out. And I always wondered, how do they get by with just a little carry-on? And I've got a whole trunk.
Oh,
I've got dresses, shoes, jewelry, lashes, girdles,
hair, face.
Everything. If you could quarantine with anybody in the whole world, living or dead, who would you quarantine with?
Oh, well, obviously you guys.
Yeah, she said earlier. Us.
So much, you guys.
Yeah.
And I think I'd like it if Pilar was there, and then I can also like live out the childhood sibling thing and be like, no, I'm the favorite. My worst fear, like, I have a few people that I've seen. My worst fear is like contracting COVID and dying, but contracting it from somebody like I didn't even want to see in the first place. Like, that's my worst fear. I'm like,
CVS cashier.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I have to tell them off when I walk in. I have to make the most of it. What if I catch COVID while I'm there?
What yearbook style superlative that you would give yourself in high school? Most likely to?
Dork.
Okay. And one for your current self?
Dork.
What gives you goosebumps?
Oh, why didn't I get the questions in advance?
No, Dana, you're quick-witted.
What gives me goosebumps?
Spiders?
No, still, like, I really like babies. Like, everyone's very surprised, but I really like babies.
Aww.
They slow everything down. And I feel like I understand when people say, like, oh, you adjust your life. Around 2, I'm kind of done. I don't want to answer the questions, but that baby part, like, I'm just like, oh, this is the pace I'm supposed to be going at.
Aww.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
That's a sweet answer.
That's a sweet answer. What Netflix show or movie are you marathon watching?
Oh my God. First of all, which one am I not doing? Second of all, just finished House of Cards. Everyone was watching, like, the election. They were like, did you see the thing? The hearings, the Congress's hearings for the votes. And I'm like, no, but I did finish season 5 of House of Cards. And there were lesbians on that season. Much better than watching the news. So,
right. We watched West Wing to pretend that was our administration. It was Martin Sheen's the president, right? Martin Sheen's the president. If you could travel back.
Oh, sorry.
Last question. If you could travel back in time, which part of your life would you go back to?
I liked when I first started going on tour. I was drinking a lot, but I really liked it. It was really fun. It was like the most time I spent with people. Like, I've always like kept to myself and stuff. And then, yeah, but it was really good. It was really like everything just felt so special. Like, I was just, the same things that, like, I walk in now and I'm like, this again. It was like, it was so special.
You're so jaded.
It's like they know who I am.
But you know what? There's a lot of connectivity back then because we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have pagers. We had to have a map. We had to have a Thomas guide. We had to, trust that the restaurant wasn't going to give us food poisoning. There were just so many things. We had to go buy tickets at the airport and pick them up.
I had to set out 3 days early just in case I got lost anywhere.
Right.
But that's the other thing is, like, I loved, I know people always say this, but it was true. I loved the simplicity that the job was just to be funny. The job wasn't how many followers do you have?
Yes.
What did you do a script? Did you do this? It was like, and I think that's still what I love about stand-up is it just exists in now. Like the rest of everything else, like about me, all the other stats about me don't matter in that moment. It's just like, am I doing this job? And I just love it. I really, I miss it so much.
Oh, I know, me too. And I miss seeing you.
No, I
miss
know.
those cocktail napkins.
Oh, I'll send you some.
Okay.
I'll send you. I won't blow my nose on them. And then like the green room, like being in the green room and finding out like what's really up with everybody. But then I would get annoyed when somebody brought like a civilian in.
Yeah.
Like Travis doesn't count as a civilian anymore, but they bring in a civilian and they try and be in and it's like, you're an observer here.
Yeah.
This is the cone.
Yeah.
So tell us where we can buy your book and where can we see you at Flappers? How do we get tickets?
DanaEagle.com. DANA. Eagle is just like the bird. There it is. That's who I am. You could get the book and the CD on my website. CD is also on iTunes. And there's also a free digital download of my one-person show. Because I couldn't put out an album, which was the goal. So I remastered my one-person show, which was at the HBO US Comedy Arts Festival. So that's there. It's 22 minutes, not a big commitment, and you get it free. And you can gift it to someone else. I forgot all the other questions, but I think February 12th, 7 p.m. Was there another question? Yes, I'm gay. That's it. And my mom was like, when are you going to meet someone? And I'm like, you were just yelling at me not to leave the house. When am I going to meet someone?
Well, okay, so I do want to go through these for those that are listening because we take the audio of the show after and we put it on Spotify and iHeart and all that. Instagram.com/Dana Eagle, Twitter.com/Dana Eagle Tweets, Facebook.com/Dana Eagle Comedy. And you can find her book and that download of the hilarious set. Yeah, that book right there. And you can find that on her website, www.danaeagle.com.
No uniformity.
No uniformity.
One is Dana Eagle Tweets, one's Dana Eagle Comedy, one's Dana Eagle. I didn't have somebody saying, like, you want them all to match. I had no idea. I did not give the instructions. I thought it was just write jokes. I had no idea all the other stuff I was supposed to be managing.
You are wonderful. Everything about you is wonderful.
I adore you guys.
Oh, we adore you too.
I love your guts.
Oh, and I love your honesty. Thank you for coming on and talking about topics that are hard to talk about. You know, mental illness, depression, cancer, and you got through it and you bring people through it.
You think so?
Yes,
maybe I'll
I absolutely do. What?
Maybe I'll start my own show.
You should.
You should.
Do my own damn show.
Somebody just wrote, "Oh my God, awesome! I love her. Great show. Thanks for the laughs and good night." Pilar said, "You probably are the favorite already."
Yeah, but that's just because I haven't crashed their car. Wait till I crash their car.
But she has crashed our car.
I know.
Yeah.
And I crashed my parents' car. She did her job. That's what she was supposed to do. What did you think she was going to do?
I told her too. You get one. Bam, it's done. No more. You're never crashing the car again.
That was a very nice try.
Yeah.
That was a very nice try. You know, she still has some more aggravation she could cause. She cause you.
She does.
Don't let him off so easy. She's a good kid. She let you off way too easy.
No, she didn't.
BG Casas, who was like the most positive, most wonderful person I know, wrote, "Great getting to know you."
Well, it was a limited time. If we had more time, you might feel differently.
Stop it. Dana, we love you. We thank you for coming on and talking to us tonight. Mwah.
Sorry about the tech difficulties. Oh, I could still drink this even though I'm not on the show.
Absolutely, yeah.
Bye,
Don't
everyone.
forget, we're going to meet at Playroom Karaoke with Sandra.
Yes, February 13th.
Yes.
Your birthday.
Your
I'm
birthday.
going to start practicing. I'm not getting ready for my headlining show. I'm getting ready for karaoke.
She said she loves you, Dana.
I love you, Sandra.
Okay,
All right.
bye-bye.
Bye, Dana. Bye. Oh, and that's why she is my favorite. She's adorable, but
Darling.
she's funny. She's clever. She's smart.
And I just didn't realize how much she went through until she put it all out there. You
Yeah.
know,
Brave.
very
She's
brave.
brave. And
Because
she's
somebody
got a great,
goes through one of those things and wants to call it a day.
Yeah.
You know,
she's got such a great demeanor too.
she does.
If you haven't seen her do comedy, she's going to be at Flappers coming up. Please go to her website, danaeagle.com, and download that free album, which is amazing for her to do. And while you are out there in the world doing stuff, please check us out. We're at cookingwithdebbieandfriends.com, Instagram at cookingwithdebbie, on YouTube and Facebook /mommycomic /Debi Gutierrez. Look at that. None of ours matches either. And she was like, I didn't do anything uniform. No, that does either.
And thank you for thinking positive thoughts for us today. It's superstitious, you know, we don't want to talk about it, but our show has a chance to grow, and we just and we want to thank you guys because, you know, a couple of you reached out to help me put together some thoughts about the show, because sometimes I think we're just too close to it, and you really helped us define the show. So thank you so much.
And also, like I said earlier, we do take the audio and it goes to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeart, Stitcher, Google, or wherever you find your podcasts. Yeah. And so with that, we want to thank you for joining us. Please check us out at 12 noon on Sunday. This upcoming
Super Bowl Sunday. We don't even know who's playing. We don't care. We're not. We don't.
I don't.
We don't. In the commercials, we think are going to be kind of sappy this year. So not too funny, but
they better step it up with the commercials at least.
But we're going to meet you here, and we're going to have some games. We're going to play some games and make some burgers.
Yeah. Yep. So thank you to everyone. My dad, thank you. Love you too. And beat you Sunday, Debbie Grow, he says.
And we'll see you all on Sandra's show on the 13th, which will be a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right, you guys. Good night, everyone.